Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM21. It's Stage Racer, and we're on episode 31. Yeah, I've moved up to World Tour in terms of the races that we're seeing on camera a little more often, but we're still just a Continental Pro team. We're still a small Continental Pro team, and I'm still only a rider with a developing reputation. Therefore, as we're here at Brabant's Pill, there's a good 7 or 8 proper punchers with a real shot at winning this that are well beyond what my scope is, what my capability is. My team decided that they'd like to see me in the break and then try to hang on to a strong position overall based on, getting a little advantage over the field, possibly helping us out, or at least getting us on TV and going from there. So the break, we got a pretty good group, 12 riders, and we got a pretty good gap of, it was over 5, but it's already down to 3.5. We have not sped up really at all. We are going the exact same speed we were when it was at 5 minutes, and the peloton's bringing us back relatively easy right now. You can see Janish +5, Jones +3, but even Tolman on a -3 has no fatigue. Barbosa just went to get some water, so he's got a little bit of fatigue there, but the peloton's not even working hard, and they have brought back a third of the time gap that we had, meaning our day would have had a tiny chance if we would have tried to maintain that 5-minute gap. But bringing it back down to 3 minutes already before deciding to put any sort of effort in means I doubt that we're going to hang on in this one. Now we start to turn it up. Okay, there we go. We've picked up the pace. I'm at 75% of objective, by the way, and we're at 250. But like I said, I think this is a little too late for us to turn it up a notch and try to keep the peloton at bay. I would suspect that the peloton's going to start to struggle, and you can see heart rates are definitely higher as they're now pushing the 150s, 160s, where they were still pretty casual in the 140s a moment ago. But the gap's still coming down anyway. We're at 220 now. And hence the a little too late to get started on that project. But we'll pull off our objective and then probably casually ride and wait for the peloton to pull us back, and then hang on and do whatever we can with the race result on the day. Still at 2 minutes. They've only pulled back 1 minute. I mean, we do have a group of 12, so. But again, 2 minutes from the peloton. Not that hard of a chase. 60K to go. We have made our objective, though. Now to go beyond that, quite a few more kilometers are going to be necessary. We're going to have to get pretty dang close to the end, inside the last 20K or so. So already quite a few guys that are just sitting on. I can join their ranks. Oof, Jones, is that his second crash? That is Jones's second crash, poor guy. Down to just over a minute. 40K. That's what I was talking about with the hanging on a little, too late, right? If we still had 3 minutes, you'd think we have a shot. Or if we still had 2.5 minutes, but not inside 1 minute. And with my flat rating, it's going to be hard to hang on. I'm going to fade pretty dang quick if I do that. A climb is a good time for me to get some water, though. 4 riders going off the front. I'm not so worried about it now. Peloton splitting, that's what I'm hoping for. That's the group I want to grab. And we are in to the peloton just like that. They caught us really fast. But 33 riders is ideal because now I'm still in pretty good shape. Stamina's down, but I mean, look at my team. They're gone. They're out the back. Carmago is the only one here, and he is very close to done. We are seeing splits. It is yo-yoing. 9 riders going clear at the moment. Coming back together. Now it's 31 chasing the last 6 of the breakaway. There we go. Back up into a good strong position. 18K to go. 28 chasing those 6. Those 6 now splitting, and we're seeing an attack. Let's Woot. Woot. Lopez fading. Let's try to keep a prime position. There's 3 climbs to go, and that is a good time for me to gain. It's 50 chasing 11. We can still get a good position in the overall, but again, you can see just how quick this is hurting. The Plos chasing pretty hard. They've brought back the break, so now it's 15. And they've they have not sat up a little bit. There's your leftovers of the break, plus a couple of those riders, right as we're about to hit this next climb. Unfortunately, I'm a little too far back. Can we sneak? Come through this thing. 7 riders at the front.
There's now just 10 kilometers left.
I don't have the energy to attack. I just need to be in a prime position and hope for a good position on the overall. Right now we're looking for a top 25. I was hoping for a top 10, and there's still a chance at that with 8K to go. But that's the front of the race. I mean, it's right there. We are not far back. 15 chasing 9. This is your top 24. So we got a top 25 now, but getting into the top 10 is going to take a little bit, especially as you can see I'm very much at the end. And this is not because this pace is that bad, but it's because I have a -1, which, no, that's not really anything. It's more of a 0 today. But what it is impacting me on is that I just do not have... I don't have the stamina after spending the day in the breakaway. So that was good. I opened up a 16-second gap as we go into the final climb. And we have a tiny amount of energy as we begin that final climb here in a moment. And I'll have that little advantage over those guys behind me. But from here, we got to just kind of push it out. Some of them are going to come back at me and pass me up for sure. That was that lack of energy. Velens takes the win ahead of Van Aert, and Van der Poel, good win for him. Schachman, I mean, there's that top 6 is all serious guys. Plus, actually, Van Sevenant we've seen is pretty dang strong as well. Sagan, Jorgen, yeah. And then this was the battle for 9th. We do get 22nd. So staying in the group may or may not have made any difference, because I have a feeling we would have been down on the energy. And again, that is not due to race day condition per se, the -1 really not impacting us, but a 64 flat rating and a 65 stamina and spending 150 kilometers in the breakaway just ate up our stamina for the day, making it pretty hard to get to the finish, especially as there was a big push there among the riders. So my little move on the penultimate climb was not a move. I just opened up a little gap, and even if I hadn't opened that gap and just followed those guys, I have a feeling at the finish line I still would have been in a very similar position on the back foot for that last climb. And we kick off Liege-Bastogne-Liege as a teammate with a +4 race day condition, +2 of that coming of a triggered fitness peak that I triggered just yesterday, so that it would be ready to go for this race. I was supposed to be for Flèche Wallonne, but we did not get in, so this is what we're doing. I need 40k at the front, which means I need actually 50k to get the max objective complete. We have 3 riders off and another group trying to split off now. That's going to start calculating for me that I am working the front at the moment. We'll put in 68 effort to do so. I want to be done with this as soon as possible. I might not even do all 40k because, well, I mean, come on. I've got 85 mountain, 80 hills today. Very strong, 74 stamina, 83 resistance. I could compete for this race overall. So I do want to get some kilometers in, but I really don't want to dig too deep on this. So if I don't very quickly get what I need with 4 riders off the front establishing the break, but more selfishly trying to go away now, 4 would have been perfect. The Ermos among those attacking, and now there's a chase. So as that's on, we've only managed 13k so far. Go ahead and ease off for a little bit. Try to recover some while they figure out this chase. So 4 being chased down. There we go. That's back together. They're going to sit up again. No more are going to attack yet again. So still just 13k. Can we get to the front? There we go. 69 is enough to get to the front. The gaps are opening with 2 establishing themselves off the front. That's going to make 6 at 2.5 minutes. That's good. That's good. And I'm definitely collecting my kilometers now. We'll back off a little bit and see if we can't hang on and stay at the front. 50%. I might settle for 75 and just call it good. I really, really do not want to waste energy when I feel like we could do well today. I'm not going to get any team support, so I'm entirely on my own. And there's a lot of climbing in Liege-Bastogne-Liege to be on your own and not protected at all. Okay, 100%. Get that 125 for exceptional. I'll take my 10 XP. You never know what's going to happen. We've certainly had bad luck for a while. There you go. Okay, now we can sit up. Somebody brought me water at the same time for a job well done. Okay, in terms of stamina, looking at my green bar, yeah, it's down a little bit, but it's really not that bad. We'll be fine. Gap suddenly embellishes to 4 minutes. It's gone up pretty quick. Definitely the rest of these guys not working as hard as I was. We can... I think essentially we can now take that +4 race day condition and knock it down a peg or 2 based on the extra effort that I just wasted. So if you knock that back to +3, maybe +2, I think that's kind of the equivalent. So we still have a legitimate shot of doing something pretty solid with this. No team support, so on my own. That does hurt a tad, especially with all this climbing. You know, if it's intense, only protected leaders are going to actually succeed at the end of this one. So we very well could still find ourselves on the back foot, but we're certainly not in a bad place. I'd much rather be +4 having worked on the front for a bit than say be 0 or any type of negative race day condition and supported by the team, especially my team. They're not that great. They're really not very good. So I tend to not get a whole lot of support anyway. That being said, the race day condition speaks volumes of what could happen today. Gap is coming back down, 2.5 minutes already. And we begin the climbs. The first. You can already see the fatigue, but on the descent I recover. But look how low my stamina is with 80k to go. My green bar, that is. That's a little worrying as we go up climb number 3 now. Cruising on at a 76. I'm sliding backward a little bit, but I recover that easily enough, and I'm not sliding back much. But as this race gets a little later, let's push a little bit harder. I definitely don't mind slipping back a little bit climb by climb because we need to conserve energy. We need to make up for the simple fact that we wasted all that stamina working at the front. 4 team members already gone. Peloton down to 87. Breakaway down to 5. They've lost 1 rider. And they're down to 3/4 of a minute. And here we go. The biggest climb of the day. The Col de Rosier. 4K is all... Oof. Took a bit of a knock right there. Somebody going slow. We're going to have to pick this up now. Climb a little faster. It was either Paulette or Schultz that just kind of swept across the roadway, and I lost a bike length and a half in a very, very short period. Camargo and Alves both already out of energy. There's Alves. He was well positioned at the front. A lot of guys going backwards. No more breakaway. Down to 85, down to 66, down to 63 now, down to 60. And we go over the top. Down to 47 before the peak. I will get plenty of recovery in on the descent. Alves regains contact momentarily. He's in that group of 12 that is yo-yoing off the back right now. I think Carmago was the leader, but Alves either keeps his codependents away from me or he is still somehow seen as the leader. 63 now over this descent is some of it coming back together. I'm back to full strength, but that full strength is not great, to be honest. 43k to go. That is largely down to the length of this race and, of course, that wasted energy on the front. Next biggest climb of the day. From here it gets a little easier. Down to 59, 55, 52. Now you got to expect we're at a point now. We're going to be at a phase here where these guys are not going to come back together. Get back towards the front. Good, 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 good. And sit up. Start getting that heart rate down before we descend through this next portion here so we can get a little bit of recovery. And there we go. Recovery is going to begin with 49 in the peloton. Got to figure we're easily set up for a top 25 as long as, you know, nothing bad happens.
This climb features some dreadful percentages.
All right. Only 2k, but it's steep. It's steep, and I'm not finding a gap right now. 5 riders have escaped off the front. 9 riders have escaped now. No, some of them are reeled back in. Still conserving for now. Again, just low stamina. That resistance is going to fade really quick when the stamina is this low. 41 chasing 5. They opened a pretty solid gap. Chase is not going to be easy. Now it's 28 chasing. And you can see the tempo of the chase has picked up significantly. It looks like everybody's attacking, though we're not. You take position here on Moss's wheel. Put your head down a little bit. I'm right at the back of the group. I think I'm literally the last rider of this group right now. We need to come forward. A little uphill swing. Let's start to scoot forward. Okay, we are coming back at those 5 a little bit, but Alaphilippe from that group has attacked. One rider has bridged the gap to those guys, and now it's 24 chasing 6. We're looking at a top 30 with one major climb left to go. 19k. We need to gel up because that big climb is going to split this field. Back together, 29 riders. 1 rider was dropped, so we've brought it back together in preparation for that climb. Heart rate's not low enough. I do not think we're going to get any recovery. Bardet trying to attack. I'm too far back. We need to get forward. I'm not going to recover, so get forward. Get forward. There we go. I do not think I'm in contention to win with the stamina that I have left. But I think we can still get a top 10 out of this. Maybe top 15. 85 is the way to go for me, as that is definitely my strength. And otherwise, I run the risk of losing a little too much. There we go. Into the steep section. Now, we can push that little bit harder. 2 riders off the front. Seeing the splits. Yeah, you can see if I go much harder than this, we just burn out whatever energy we had. There's 8. I'm about 10th wheel right now. 19, 25 chasing 3, coming back together here. Can we follow Formulo? Is that Van Aert? It looks like Van Aert. It is. Good on. And I would love to see a little split right behind me. I'm out of energy. I am out of energy. On the last little uphill swing, Van Aert is out of energy. Alaphilippe is out of energy. And we have been split off. And there's a few too many riders up the road from us. That is 9 of them. And I'm about to get dropped by this group.
by Benoit Costin.
5 kilometers left.
Go arrow. Maybe we can regain contact with these guys. Otherwise, we're just looking at a top 25. It is a descent coming.
Watch out, a team leader is falling behind.
Okay, ounce of recovery as we approach the line. Not enough here. Shockman takes the win. Final kilometer. Cosnefroy, Van Sevenant. Bernal was fourth. Gaudu. Van Aert recovers for eighth. He looked like he was done. Alaphilippe, same. That is the group that I was in. That was that next phase that we were fighting for, but those guys left us in the dust. We missed the top 20, but we get a top 25. It's 23rd place. That's not bad for a World Tour race. That's not bad for the wasted energy working as teammate. If I would have sacrificed that entirely, maybe I have enough energy left to compete for 8th, 9th, 10th. But still, not necessarily the kind of profile that suits us as Liege-Bastogne-Liege. Is still a little over our head. Pure climbing, clearly where it's at for us, but punchiness against the World Tour's best, not entirely. Punchiness against Continental Pro, oh yeah, we could beat those guys, but not necessarily the best of the best. Especially when the team doesn't want to support me for that. Took a quick look inside my calendar to see what was ahead of me. I really don't have a lot of points right now. So I have a ways to go to get something useful going on. But next up is the 4 Hours of Dunkirk. Now, it's a race that I do like, but it doesn't fit my profile. You know, personally, it's an enjoyable race, but it's just not something that suits my needs. I have 4 sprint stages and then 2 very repetitive climbing cobbled stages. And the cobble part is going to absolutely destroy me because I'm awful at cobbles. You can see stages 4 and 5 are almost identical in nature. And neither one's going to suit me. So whether it's from the breakaway, whether it is trying to climb properly, I don't know which, but either way, I'm kind of screwed for the 4 Hours of Dunkirk, and there's nothing else on the calendar around this period of time. Now, come June, now that we're into May, by the way, come June, calendar gets a little bit better. We have some proper races, Tour de Suisse, national championships, so on and so forth, that are going to be a better profile for us and suit us a little bit better. For now, we have to kind of inch our way along with whatever XP we can get. I'm actually even going to quick sim some of this and not bother, because this 4 Hours of Dunkirk until that 4th and 5th stage, there's nothing doing here that's going to matter, and I doubt that I'm going to be in a strong position for the 6th stage, so I'll just play out those fun 4th and 5th stages where I lose horribly bad and at least maybe pick up a few XP. That's all I'm going to get out of that race, to be honest. So really a waste of a fitness peak. It is what it is, but yeah, you know, these things happen. Not everything suits you, and not every racer goes into every race expecting to win. Very few do. Very few. Pretty much none. Chris Froome won a whole lot of races. He never looked to win in a sprint. Peter Sagan wins on a whole lot of different types of profiles. He's not winning mountaintop races. He's not winning any races these days, but you know, that's another point. Mark Cavendish wins an absolute ton of sprints. He doesn't win on any other type of profile. Point given, hopefully point taken. That is going to do it for this one, though. We will just make our way through until we get to that good month coming. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.